Today we're going to do a simple body scan meditation. So body scan meditation is just like it sounds. It's scanning our awareness through the body as a form of meditation. This can be done standing, seated, or lying down. So choose what feels comfortable for you. There's a number of benefits to doing a body scan meditation. One, it takes us out of the busyness of our head and drops our awareness down into our embodied experience of here and now. So it's grounding. It calms us to get out of our busy, overthinking mind. But it also is a great strategy for developing or cultivating a relationship with ourself, our body, and beginning to tune in to the subtle messages that our body is always giving us. So there's more information going from our body to our brain than there is from our brain to our body. And so when we start to listen to the subtle messages that our body has for us, we can tune in. When something's just a little bit off, we get the whisper instead of the scream or the roar. So important to start. So that's really useful. When is that useful? When, for example, you're starting to come down with a cold. It's certainly easier to nip something in the bud before it takes hold. So just noticing if something's just slightly off. And same thing with joint issues or muscle issues. It always starts as a little whisper. And when we override or ignore those messages, it can turn into a roar or something louder. Much easier to address something before it gets to that point. And one of the ways we can tune into that is through doing something like a body scan. So I invite you to find whatever posture it feels right for you today. Again, standing, lying down, or seated. And then just start to relax your body into that position. And so if you're choosing standing, for example, just letting the arms hang alongside you. And then I invite you to just find a soft gaze or let the eyes softly close if that feels comfortable. Again, if you're standing and it's not comfortable to have the eyes closed, let them be cast down and in front of you so their external world is sort of out of your experience, so that you can tune to more of the internal space. And begin to tune into your breath and allowing that breath to just settle you into this moment right here, right now. And then we'll begin by just taking the awareness to the top of the head. Just feeling, noticing sensations around the top of the head, forehead, the temples. And so what are we looking for? We're looking for just anything that jumps for our attention. We're just scanning. It's just a noticing. So you might check in with the temples or the cheeks. Comparing right side, left side. Right ear, left ear. Right side of the jaw, left side of the jaw. And the muscles of the throat and neck. So as we scan, moving downward to the shoulders, getting really curious here, right shoulder, left shoulder. And it can be interesting because sometimes one shoulder might feel like it's higher or lower than the other, or more forward or more back. So just tuning into those subtleties. You might notice if one shoulder feels more dense, or there might be a color associated, or dark or light. So Sometimes it feels like one shoulder might be more there somehow than the other one. So these are all just observations. And then comparing the whole right arm and hand to the whole left arm and hand. And again, noticing maybe one feels longer or shorter than the other. More forward or back. Somehow more there or not. Lighter or darker. More dense or less dense. More airy. It's all just information. And then dropping the awareness down from there to the lungs, chest, the whole torso. And just noticing, and then moving toward the pelvis, the hips, and noticing if one feels higher or lower, more forward or more back. Lighter or darker on one side over the other. Just noticing. And then dropping the awareness down into the legs. Aware of the legs and noticing again, one more forward or more back than the other. Does one feel bigger or smaller? One might feel more like a tree trunk, steady and strong, and the other might feel more like a tent pole, maybe smaller, thinner, somehow not as dense and big and strong. So you can notice, not suggesting that it feel that way. I'm just encouraging you to notice if there's subtleties and which side those subtleties are on. And there might be a color associated or a texture, like a puffy light cloud or a dense solid brick. And again, dropping as that feels complete, we're dropping our awareness further down into the ankles. And noticing here's this narrow place that holds up our whole body. Notice if the ankle turns more in or out. So ankle connection to the feet and to the knees. So you can notice any rotation there or like a collapsing into the arches. Again, just noticing if one feels more forward or back. It's so interesting, this journey inside our inner landscape. And then as you drop the awareness down into the feet, noticing if one foot feels more forward or back than the other. Maybe more turned in or out. If one foot feels, again, somehow more present, more there, like more dense, and lightness or darkness. Maybe even a color. So as we practice this body scan over time, we start to become familiar with our patterns. It can change from one day to the next. And it can stay kind of similar, a similar pattern that always shows up in our body. It gives us information. What is our body trying to tell us or show us by looking at this subtle energy in our body? So I invite you now to just take a deep breath in. And with a long, slow breath out, let your awareness travel through the whole body once again. Just offering thanks, gratitude to your body for the information that it has shared with you on this journey. That you are listening. That you are here to support this body. As this body supports you in being you in this world. We have this reciprocal relationship and caring for our body, the way our body carries us through life. As a gesture of gratitude, appreciation, and an expression of love. So if you like, sending the arms into the air with a nice deep in-breath to wrap up our practice. As you're ready, exhaling, lowering the hands to the heart. And then taking your time, slowly opening the eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.